Hello darlings, Tammy and Tiaras here. I like to talk about mental health issues, and this week I want to discuss the way that I am creating a garden sanctuary to give me peace from the chaos of life. Stay tuned if you're interested. Thank you for subscribing and thank you for liking the video. Hello darlings, how do we create a garden sanctuary in our very own backyard? It's simply easy to do. You just have to use your imagination and perhaps Pinterest. Think about the things that you really like and the things that make you happy. For me, that is fairies, gnomes, plants, anything pretty and shiny. I'm sure I was a crow in a former life. So my garden is filled with all of these sort of fairy moments. I've made myself a beautiful little fairy castle that I absolutely love, and we've had baby birds that were actually born in this, and now they play around in our garden. Look, I'll show you. So this is our fairy garden that I have made, and I absolutely love it. We've still got the baby bird nest at the back of it, if you can see in there. I had 4 little baby birds come out of there, and they still play around the garden. We feed them every day, put out some bread and bits and bobs for them. But what I find is that it's just a magical place for me to come and sit close by with Lucy. I usually sit on the ground. As you've seen in some of my previous videos, I read books out here, knit out here. I spend a lot of my day out here. Very happy to see my lemons coming along because it's getting to that time of year where we need them. But back to the fairy house. It doesn't cost a lot of money to make all of these little things. These were only a few dollars. I had a lovely subscriber send me these. These have come from Happy Adventures Forever, Ahiranta and Jose Ripochet. Beautiful people who actually bought the tiara that I'm wearing. So I'm so lucky to have beautiful people in my life. But when we came here, it wasn't like this at all. It's what I've created every single place that I've ever lived. Even when it was a flat that we lived in, Bert and I, we still had a garden. I remember Bert going and getting me an old fridge door that he filled up with potting mix and he filled up with manure, and we planted plants in there, and that was sitting on our front veranda. And of course, me being me, I had cute little things in it because that's what I do. I like to make things cute. This little place over here is especially nice because our baby birds actually come and drink from this, and we've seen them, and watching the nature in the garden is so beautiful. The lilac's starting to get very thin, but that's okay because we're going into autumn. So like I say, you have to create the kind of garden that you like to make a sanctuary. What do you think, Lucy? Lucy thinks so too. Everything in my garden has a sentimental meaning. Many of the ornaments and things we've actually made, and so that means more to us than anything else. I have to say, I haven't even made the bed this morning, darlings. I'm being honest with you. This beautiful rose Jacinta gave to us for our 40th wedding anniversary. She's our eldest daughter and she's got 2 children of her own. Lives with her husband, of course, further across in Ballarat. This gnome was actually my mother-in-law's, and I gave it a good revamp. So it really is what you do to create your own very kind of sanctuary. Maybe you're more of a Buddha kind of person that likes to have the lovely peace statues and the Buddha statues and things like that. Well, that's fine. You can create whatever garden sanctuary you like. You just put the things that you love. We've had him forever, this gentleman. Made him many years ago. See, I just love whimsical things. I've got my Skippy here. Now, if you know anything about Australian television, We've got a television series called Skippy that went for many, many years. And as a child, I remember watching it sometimes on our little tiny 12-inch television. And of course, I've got my own Skippy, and Bert put his own touch onto it by making a little pouch for Skippy. And I've got a notebook and a pen in there in case the children come and need to leave a message. Not that that ever happens, but in actual fact, it makes Skippy feel important. Skippy, of course, had to be beautified with her bows. So Lucy kindly shared some bows with Skippy, but that's fine. Skippy also holds my gardening things. She's extremely useful, but like I say, whimsical. These bags we use for Lucy, for you know what. Try and get flowers that will give you lots and lots of joy. These ones are like a chive, and they flower endlessly, and just when you think you won't get any more flowers, up they come. What I love about my garden sanctuary is I've planted plants especially to give me colour all year. There's always something blooming in my garden. These bulbs are just coming up, and they are going to have the most beautiful flowers on them, and they're going to be so pink. I've got little saucer teacups here for the birds, but mainly they're for the insects for a bit of moisture. I made them many years ago. So having a garden sanctuary is just somewhere where you can go and sit quietly, do what you want to do. But like I say, you have to do the kind of garden you like. Maybe you like to have a lot of animals in your garden, so you go more for the animals. For me, I'm all about fairies and whimsical. Everybody knows that. Tam's always been off with the fairies. That's another reason why I wear my tiaras, because why can't we, darlings? Why can't we embrace that childhood love that we've got of all things magical? Bert brought me this beautiful lady last year for my birthday, and she glows like an angel of a night. I've got a very, very special resident over here by the pond. Not that you're going to see him, but I have got a frog living in there, burrows under the ground, gives me beautiful songs, and I'm extremely happy about that. So what kind of a garden sanctuary would you create if you could create your own perfect garden sanctuary? You've got to consider that you must always have water, because if you have water, you have birds. And if you have birds, you have life. And as our life is so quiet with our children all grown up and busy raising their own families, we absolutely must have life in the garden. It keeps us interested all day. We go out and we feed the birds, we top up the bird baths, we just stay happy in our own little world in our garden. I'm even more excited to show you that Bert has raised the fence for me. I've had many issues with this fence since we moved in, and because we're on a bend, it's not a corner, it's a large crescent curve. We have had a real problem with privacy, and I absolutely need to have sanctuary in my garden. I can't have the worry of people judging me for being silly for walking around filming. So unfortunately we had plants that died and we lost all of our privacy. So Bert has raised the fence for me, and now I have got the most beautiful privacy. I can do all the filming I like, and I know that I'm not being judged and watched, because people do judge you, don't they? And it's nice to know that you can walk around your own home without being judged. That's all part of having a garden sanctuary. So while it keeps me extremely entertained to be always doing something in the garden, to be out here having a coffee, having a glass of wine or mineral water, it takes a lot of maintenance, which is another thing that's good about it, isn't it? Because it keeps you moving. And as we get older, it's so easy to stop in that chair, isn't it? which is something I refuse to do. As you know, I ride my exercise bike every single day, take Lucy to the park every single day, because we have to get out and we must exercise. It's really important. But you can exercise in your very own garden. Nothing wrong with that. Bert's going to be putting a path in for me out the front when he can, so that I can do loops in the winter, because I just feel safer at home than I do on the street. And that's just me. If I don't have Bert walking with me, I get very worried when I walk on my own. I've had a couple of scary attacks where my sugar's dropped and I've nearly passed out, and it happened so quickly that I actually got some help from another lady at the time. She gave me a little bit of a mandarin and I got back to the car, but I tell you, my sugar was, I think it was 3.9 when I got back, and I was so weak and so sick. So therefore, I don't like walking on my own, but walking around the garden, that's fine, because it's safe and I'm home. So I'm so lucky in that respect. Well, let's do a show and tell as to what I've been doing with my handwork this week. As I told you last week, my beautiful people, some of my beautiful people, put some money into my Ko-fi account. And I actually brought myself, instead of coffee or anything, I brought myself a few treats. I bought Jane Austen books, and I bought some Jane Austen cards that I haven't showed you yet. I'll pop inside and grab them in a moment. And I also bought this, and it's knitting the nativity centre, the nativity scene for Christmas, in the Christmas knits. Well, darlings, I've started it. I'm really pleased. Now, you have to admit, this is how they are supposed to look. Okay, so aren't they darling? But sweethearts, I'm Tammy in Tiaras. I don't do normal, boring things. So this is my take on Mary. And please be kind, please be gentle. I know she may not have had much money back in the day, but this is my reimagining of Mary as she might be today. So here we go. What do you think, guys? What do you think? So I have got her in a pink here, pink wool. It's all done with wool. A jumper I actually made many years ago. I'm determined to use up all my little half balls of wool. So that's what I'm using to make all of these. Now her hands have still got strings on them because I have to sew on baby Jesus. She holds baby Jesus. Isn't she darling? And she's about a good 5 or 6 inches tall. And I've lined her, filled her up with, lovely, soft, fluffy fillings. I had a lot of trouble with her face, so please be kind. Be kind, darlings. This is not my comfort zone doing these sort of things. I really, really struggle with it. So I did the best I could. I found a little button for her cape. And of course she's looking down to hold baby Jesus. So I might have baby Jesus finished by next time, but I'm not sure if I will or I won't, because we've got something exciting coming up next week that will keep me busy for most of the week. So I'll just have to see. So that's Mary. Of course I've started Joseph. Joseph I decided to go for, so I haven't done anything elaborate with Joseph yet, but I haven't got to the scarf. And I am a bit of a Doctor Who fan, so I won't say any more. So this is Joseph. This is how they start off. Very, very simple. Bert cut me out 5 centimetre cardboard for in the base of them because I wanted to use something heavier, but my brother-in-law said to me, he said, but what if they get thrown at a child? And I thought, okay, yeah, that's a point. Maybe I won't put any wooden boards in the bottom of them. So that's Joseph taking shape, coming along nicely, done in a beautiful, soft, Cleckheaton wool. That's what I've been working on this week with my knitting. Apart from that and doing daily journaling and keeping in a good place mentally, it's kept me very busy. I'll just go grab the Jane Austen cards and you can check them out. Life lessons from Jane Austen's. They're called Ostentations. Ostentatious. So what it is, it's a box full of little cards like this. I think they're upside down. And they've got daily quotes on them. And you just take one card a day. Today's is, I have no notion of people's making such a to-do about money and greatness. That's Mrs. Jennings to from Sense and Sensibility. That means more carriages and fashionable dresses are always less impressive than a genuine kindness and open mind. So that's today's, and on the back we've got Mrs. Jennings. I just have these sitting on my piano, and when I play the piano every day, I just take the top one out and just take the one that it is for the day. Just a little bit of light-hearted fun to keep my mind on something different. Because with our mental health, darlings, sometimes, I don't know if it's only me, but your mind doesn't stop trying to tell you negative things and trying to overthink things, trying to overanalyze things. You just sometimes need to chill and do something frivolous. It really helps our mental health. But I haven't asked the big question yet. How are all my beautiful people doing out there? I cannot tell you how much your comments mean to me. My children don't watch my videos. They don't watch my shorts. I'm pretty sure Simone does. You know how you always have a child that is really the child that you are in touch with a lot. Well, Simone is my child I'm in touch with a lot. She's a true blessing to me. We talk to each other nearly every single day, and it's wonderful, absolutely wonderful. I ring my boys every week to check in how they're going, have a lovely talk to my two boys, absolutely love it. I don't see my eldest daughter, which is a sad thing, but this happens in families. But the saddest thing is that I don't see her children either. So Oscar and Emma, who used to come every day, every Saturday, don't come anymore, and I miss them, and it's partly my own fault. So I can't help. Sometimes things are said that you wish you could take back, but you can't. But it wasn't just me. It was just an incident that happened. And I've forgiven myself. And we have to move on from making mistakes, don't we? So I miss them, but it is what it is. So that's what I've been doing this week. And I want to do a special thank you to Lisa Wonderess, because we talk a lot on the phone. She's a beautiful YouTuber who is raw and honest, that struggles with her. Look, mental health is under so many different names. It's just so many, but she has her own problems, and she lives in a caravan with a beautiful, super cool F-250 truck, left-hand drive from America. This girl can do anything. She is absolutely amazing. But at the moment she's been suffering through a cyclone. Yes, Cyclone Alfred really affected her from where she is up there in Queensland. So I've been ringing her and checking on her because I'm quite worried about her. Check out her videos, darling. She's well worth watching. She's had 27,000 views on one of her latest videos. So she's a great inspirational girl to get and follow. And just because she's raw and she's honest. So thank you, Lisa, for all your support. I love all the comments that I get from all of you. I'm so lucky because they give me such a boost in my day. To have a comment to answer, it really, really helps my mental health, and I hope it helps you. So that's what's been going on here in beautiful Ballarat this week. Like I say, make yourself a garden sanctuary. Create your own botanical gardens in your own backyard. And it doesn't matter what you start with, you can do it, darlings. Yous have got this. I'd love to hear all about the things that you do in your garden to create a peaceful space for you to sit, relax, unwind, throw the football, do whatever you do. But right now I'm going to send lots and lots of love from Lucy and I. She's inside somewhere because, like I say, she does not like the heat, darlings. She is such a wuss in the heat. Lots of love from both of us, and a big hi from Bert, who is at the moment battling bronchitis. How could I forget that? Not only bronchitis, he's got pneumonia on top of it. So he's super sick, and as you know, like I say, that can be challenging when you've got a sick husband. But we look on the bright side, darlings, and we keep on smiling, and we just do what we have to do to look after us and their mental health. Lots and lots of love from beautiful Ballarat. God bless. Till next week.